We got a lot to cover. Thank you so much, Returno, for fucking up my sleeping patterns. So yeah, I took a little nap. Made sure I get my day started. Really, that's how I usually operate there. But we have a shit to cover, a shit ton to cover. So definitely thank you. If you like the video, if you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you, if you're on Twitter or social media, retweet it. Really helps out. We're just gonna get right into it. So I wrote a list down on the amount of things we are going to be talking about. And I'm going to go down. We are also going to further elaborate on this on Saturday because it's just there's no way for me to make this into a video and cover everything. But I'll go over everything briefly. So, to the gist of things, things came out. Sony has come out with some news, right? Just some updates as to what they're doing in general, and pretty much it's a ton of people that couldn't stand Herman Hulst. There is a boycott for Herman Hulst and Jim Ryan to just to get rid of them. So that's the thing. Get the hell out. Everyone kept saying. So Jim Ryan has addressed people. This is maybe something he's not used to doing, but he has addressed people regarding the PlayStation Store. He said, "Yeah, we probably should keep that on there, maybe." You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Well, we ain't gonna touch that." He also addressed the indies, because for some reason, even though Sony continuously shows that they support indies, he was like, "Okay, fine, we are going to support indies. We do support new IPs, but." Herman Host this time came out and interviewed. He wanted to make sure that everybody was on point, and he got into more detail, just so you to know what's going on with PlayStation's future plans, and it's pertinent to what happened today because you had Ubisoft's earnings and you had EA's earnings, and it's telling. We're going to first tackle PlayStation. Herman Host told Wire that there are 25 first party titles in development for the PS5. Nearly half of them are new IPs. So, something to keep in mind, just to let you know, it's not going to be like fucking all AAA. Good chunk of these games is probably years away, which, is to be expected. These games range from small to big, from indie to AAA games, which I hope that is to be expected. I hope you kind of understood what was going on there. This is probably going to include the partnerships of Haven and Firewalk and those agreements and partnerships. So they just did that. They just released a preview embargo for Ratchet and Clank, which it looks fucking phenomenal. It almost looked reminiscent to the Unreal Engine 5 demo, where she's like running through the fucking desert. And maybe it's Unreal Engine 6. I don't fucking know. I can't keep up with those things. But whatever it is, I think it's 5. It looks absolutely incredible. And yes, it's a cartoon game, but people are like, what the fuck? It's supposed to innovate with the DualSense. And me playing Returnal, I'm starting to really, really see the potential of the DualSense. It's not just vibration. It's not just some gimmick shit. It really has some functionality, such as more functionality per button. Put it that way, so I don't have to be fumbling around with a ton of fucking button commands. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But and we'll talk about this on Saturday when we do the No Filter podcast. But the reason why I want to say this is because Ubisoft told these shareholders, right, that they're going to be focusing on free to play games. They're going to shift away from 3 to 4 premium AAA titles for the year and plans to launch high end free to play games. Right? That's what they're doing because they have to chase where the money is going. Now, I just picked up Watch Dogs Legion like when the PS5 launched. It's a shitty game. I can't believe how worse off it is than the other Watch Dogs. It's incredible how much they fucked that up. There's also, let me just take a look here. EA said that 26% of their games um, were actual, or 26% of their revenue, I should say, were the games that did not have any type of microtransaction, etc. So that means that 74%, right, was from live services. such as like Destiny-esque games, DLC, mobile, and microtransactions. Which I've said this many of other times about how microtransactions is actually going to they make more money, right? So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, right? Because there was also Jeff Keighley, the guy that does the fucking PlayStation Game Awards and shit like that. Now he says those things, right? Um, and then he says, well, what did he say? Let me take a look here. Video games evolving and changing. And then he asks for thoughts. And some people were not fucking happy about this shit, right? One person said, I think Ubisoft focusing more on free to play games is a huge mistake. These kinds of games make bank, but they are not actual games. They exist purely to leech money off of consumers. You know how that shit is. Everybody wants to be outraged about things. But in this particular case, this is a huge point because when you have games that chase or companies that chase after the money so much, then we can go, the industry could collapse. And people were like, fuck it, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Can't rock with games like that. What's marketed as free costs is basically your addiction more than buying the game itself. Okay, so they focus and prey on loot boxes and things like that, which everybody complains. The media complains about this shit. You know what I'm saying? The media also was pushing everybody. Let me see if I'm fucking up there. I mean, and then somebody says that Paris, the guy from fucking Twitter, he's the black guy going, that dude. He says this, in my opinion, the traditional upfront pricing isn't what drives games. As much as we see a shift to more battle pass and microtransaction models, it is a thin line of nickel and dime versus delivering a fun experience, and I'm happy to keep paying. He says Fortnite figured it out, so let's see who. Fortnite is the same fucking game over and over again, reconfigured, right? So people kind of play the game to express themselves, which is why the microtransactions are doing so well, and just to improve themselves. It's a big market right now. Those type of industries will collapse over time. So stuff like Minecraft, I would say, because of the creative nature of things, I don't see that shit collapsing at all. You know what I'm saying? It's going to continue to go because you're creating things. But the game, the Minecraft, not Minecraft, Fortnite is the same game over and over and over and over again. They reconfigure it. You do this week or whatever the case is, and they make sure because they're doing anything in their power to make sure you keep buying those microtransactions, which you're seeing Kratos and Aloy and all this other shit, right? So you have all that going on. Problem is, right? How many games are going to be free to play that they have to do extreme things to catch your attention? Because if you don't hit the mark, it'll end up like certain games. Like, was it Cliff Belinsky? I believe he made his own game, and that shit flopped hard as fuck. So you have shit like that. It's not that easy. And it's going to people trying to investigate and figure out how to grab the people. Eventually, that shit ain't going to work. That's just how that's just how it is, right? So you're going to have to do something innovative, and you're going to have to do something that, is worth a damn. The reason why video games exist, the market right now exists, is solely based off of classic games that people used to play. It's not Minecraft, it's not Fortnite, it's traditional gaming that keeps this shit going with supplements of free-to-play games and stuff like that. So it is a big mistake. My question is this, before we leave off, right? The media also kept pushing Game Pass. You got everybody from David Jaffe. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know. It seems like he's getting paid, but he says he's not. He says he's just a fan. I don't know. But to me, anybody that's pushing that shit that hard, I mean, he has a situation where he had games where he wanted to be, saved by a cushion such as PSN, whatever the case is. It didn't connect with that and failed. But at the same time, right, all media keeps saying that you shouldn't pay $70 for your games. You shouldn't do this. It should be free for everybody. And people are saying this shit and being totally selfish to the creators of the gaming industry. people who's making their games, it's a lot of money that goes into it. They have to get paid. And being placed on a subscription model is not going to cover the games, those high production values, period. But my question is this. If everything's going to free to play, right? This is just a simple question. What's the point of Game Pass? What is the point? What's the point of Game Pass? Explain yourselves. Microsoft, what's the point of it? Why should I pay a monthly subscription to play eventually free to play games because it's apparent now that that's their bread and butter? Why should I? That's why I'm just going to leave you with that. We'll talk about this shit on Saturday for sure. So thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I really do appreciate it. You know, we kind of don't necessarily talk about news. We kind of focus on really the industry itself. You know what I'm saying? So if Microsoft starts really doing some great things, then I'll talk about great things. If they're not, I'm going to continue to, because I like video gaming, I'm going to make sure that I can continue to play video games. And where the market's going, a lot of people are going to jump ship. But anyway, peace out. Don't forget to sub. Don't forget to retweet. Don't forget to like. I appreciate it. Out.